Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Abby Calamai, and today I will be talking to you about why Miranda rights are essential to the criminal system. The Bill of Rights gives the U.S. citizens its fundamental rights within the right of self-incrimination. This is the foundation of the Miranda rights. Miranda states that defendants must know their self-incrimination rights under the Fifth Amendment. The right to counsel, the right to remain silent, and anything you say can or may be used against you in the court of law. So the first case I'll be talking to you today is Miranda versus Arizona, which is the main case. And Miranda versus Arizona is about Ernest Miranda, who was arrested, and Miranda was taken into an interrogation room, and police officers questioned him, but he was never informed of his rights prior to the questioning. After 2 hours, police got a written confession on a signed Miranda, and the Supreme Court then ruled that on a 5-4 decision that the confession was a typed statement saying that Miranda had full knowledge of his rights, and he never reaches the level needed for one to intelligently waive the constitutional rights. Miranda versus Arizona, the case is very significant because it established that many Americans did or do not know their rights that are granted to them by the Bill of Rights. However, to every great court rule, there are exceptions. So in the Orozco versus Texas case, Reyes Orozco was convicted in the Criminal District Court of Dallas County of murder without malice and was sentenced to serve in the state prison. This case came 33 months after Miranda, so there was an ongoing confusion to comprehend Miranda and what it meant to officers, defense attorneys, prosecutors, justices, and as well as judges and guilty suspects. Orozco was not told he was under arrest until he led the officers to the gun. So he was never told of his rights under Miranda, and this case was also considered an exception. In a more recent case of Florida versus Powell, which was held in 2010, it established the precedent of Miranda versus Arizona, and which is as follows, as I stated earlier, that the defendant has the right to remain silent. Anything they say can and will be used against them in the court of law, the right to an attorney, and if the defendant can't afford an attorney, one will be provided. These 4 points were established as new precedent, and the 4 warning from Miranda were never established in the law enforcement. So to convey these warnings, there is no specific wording that must be followed by law enforcement. So in 2004, officers arrested Powell because the case was Powell versus Florida, and they arrested Kevin Powell, and they entered a bedroom and discovered a loaded 9mm handgun under the bed. The officers arrested Powell and read him the standard Tampa Police Department consent and release form before the interrogation, and Powell confessed the possessions of the weapon and was charged with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon under Florida statute. Powell filed for suppression of his statement, since he argued that the Miranda warning he received was inadequate. So the Supreme Court indicated that they had the correct jurisdiction to review this case, and in a 7-2 decision, the court revised the judgment of the Florida Supreme Court. So the court's majority opinion was written by Ginsburg, and he stated that although warnings were not the clearest possible formulation of Miranda's right to counsel advisement, they were given sufficiently comprehensive and comprehensible when given a common sense reading. So in conclusion, Miranda is a positive aspect towards the criminal system because it has evolved through time and it helps individuals protect and express their Fifth Amendment right to self-incrimination. Thank you.